Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy StumpD back from the OPTC video, and in today's video, we're taking a look at the new free-to-play Legend Ace in some Pirate Rumble and testing him out on some wonky and weird-ass teams. Now, with the release of this character, you guys have heard me ramble on about how annoying it is to level him up, how expensive he is to get to max level, and all of those shenanigans. However, to get his PvP completely unlocked, you only need him at level limit break 2, which means you need 3 copies of the character. So that way you get access to all of his Grand Party, all of his PvP stuff, and you can do some really cool stuff there. I do believe he gets an extra buff with his Limit Break expansion somewhere down the line, but in today's video, we're testing him at level Limit Break 2. We're trying him on some teams. The first team you guys are seeing here is on the Strength team. Now, Strength is still very, very good. Since the release of Film Red Gear 5 Luffy, Strength has been doing some really cool stuff. However, I did actually pull Shinobu and Raizu off the PvP banner recently, so I have been sort of testing them out too. And with Ace being a shooter character, I found that they do actually work very nicely in tandem. But you obviously have Jack, as you guys saw me quickly change down below. I thought Jack was just in the front lines of this unit, of this team, because I did try a whole bunch of different stuff. With Ace being a striker and a shooter character, both of them work exceptionally well. But I did want to try out some different stuff with this new Shinobu Raizu. I did want to see how Ace goes alongside the Gear 5 Film Red Luffy, because Ace has an ability where if he gets below a certain HP threshold, he can actually apply a shield to either a Whitebeard or a Luffy character, which is very interesting. Now, there are not a lot of very good strength Whitebeards. However, the free-to-play PKA Whitebeard is getting a 6+, sorry, a 5+, and I do believe he'll probably move to a strength typing, or he could go Dex to sort of match with the rest of the batch. But we already have a lot of Dex Whitebeards in terms of like the Legend Prime Beard, so I do think he's probably going to go strength to work alongside this particular Ace. But for now, we have the Film Red Gear 5 Luffy, who is a very good Pirate Rumble unit. So, testing him over here on strength with Kobe as well. Sanji on the bench means we get the cooldowns for fighters. And then we have Laura in the front lines for defense. And I do find this team is actually very good. Again, if you have Jack, you can always use Jack over Shinobu and Raizu. That's another phenomenal option, so you're getting HB cuts. But with Ace, his big draw for the team is damage. He has the ability to do a bunch of damage twice, plus he increases the attack buff. He has a very good passive, which is like level 6 to like HP, defense, and attack, I believe. Or speed maybe, which is very nice. But his damage output just isn't where it needs to be to fall into the main lineup. Remember, this is a legend character, so he is taking up 50 costs or 55 costs, whatever it is for a legend, which kind of sucks because to make room for this character, I had to take off the Rush Kaido unit. Now, Rush Kaido is a phenomenal strength character and is an actual very good piece of a puzzle for damage output on this particular team. And when you're looking at the damage from Ace compared to the damage from Kaido, it's a little bit, it just doesn't match up, man. It just doesn't match up. But not in saying that, though, he does seem very interesting. He can do some stuff in Grand Party, and on the strength team, he can be an option for you guys. In saying that, though, he's actually a very good option. So if you guys are struggling for strength damage dealers, maybe you're missing something like Rush Kaido, maybe you're missing something like the Anniversary Luffy, this particular Ace can slide in on your strength team quite nicely. Now, he does work best if you do have the Anniversary Luffy. Like I said, he can be a very good replacement for Rush Kaido or even something like Kobe. If you guys have missed out on the Treasure Map Anniversary Legend Kobe. He's not a Treasure Map Legend, but you guys know what I mean. He came out from Treasure Map Banner. So if you guys are missing something like that for your strength pieces of your puzzle, you can easily use Ace as another damage dealer there. I do find that the stereotypical strength team is working a little bit nicer, but hey, look, this is a free-to-play legend that if you've been playing the game for a little while, you should be able to pick up 3 copies somewhere along the line. You obviously will need to sacrifice a lot of materials to do so, but I do think he's definitely worth getting at least 1 copy or even to level Limit Break 2, so you can start using him in other areas of the game. He's going to be great in terms of the boosted meta for the next couple of months, plus in stuff like Grand Party, in stuff like PvP, you can see use for him. I definitely want to try him in Grand Party as a leader. It's just a little bit hard at the moment because Free Spirit Psy units get so drastically nerfed, and for the shooter team, Uta and Ace, who are like my 2 key pieces to a puzzle, they do get drastically nerfed on that team. But hey, who knows? I might try it today in today's PvP, Grand Party matches, and because we're at the back end, it's a little bit shaky. But in saying that, like, I think he can do some pretty cool stuff. He has a very interesting burst, which is healing, which is great if you're going up against Gear 5 metas. to be able to just heal back as soon as the enemy does hit you with that burst. But in regular Rumble, he's just good. He's just a very good unit. You can put him on a variety of different teams. You can make sort of shooter teams and make them sort of strength with the new Raizo and Shinobu. You can put him on something like the strength striker team with something like strength Kaido and Jack and Sasaki if you're taking on decks and whatnot, or even just running regular strikers as well, because Roger and Whitebeard is that Whitebeard character that is going to work exceptionally well alongside this Ace. Now, the shield that Ace gives means he has to be below 50% HP. So I would highly recommend putting him sort of in the middle slot. I've got him on the edge just for the showcase, but I would put him in the middle just so he's trying to take a little bit more damage. If he does get below that 50% HP threshold, and then you do manage to get his special off, he's going to give Luffy a level 5 shield. Now, Luffy being your main damage dealer on this team, that shield can be very, very handy. The reason that shield is so handy is Luffy is putting out so much damage. The 1.5 times his attack that goes through defensive effects up to 6 times is absolutely wild. And keeping Luffy alive means that you are getting so much damage output for the team. And that's where you can then replace stuff like Kaido, and that's where you can replace stuff like Kobe. Because Kobe would give a shield. Kaido does damage. So Ace can be that piece for you to sort of glue your strength team together. However, like I said, if you don't have that anniversary Luffy, then you're probably looking at running Ace on more of a striker-centric build. Now, the striker build is like that team that never should have worked to begin with, but it actually just does. Now, whilst Ace is only boosting strength, you could easily put together something like Kid, Ace, Sasaki, Jack, and then just run Roger Whitebeard as that damage dealer, like Luffy is for the strength team, and that way you can apply the shield to Roger and Whitebeard with this Ace character, keeping them alive to just do monstrous amounts of damage. Roger and Whitebeard don't really need to get buffed to just do an excessive amount of damage, plus Ace himself is still doing some pretty good damage there as well. You'll also have Kid, who's going through defense, which can also be a substitute for this Luffy. You have Sasaki, who's giving defense. You've got Jack, who's giving defense. And you can do some really, really nice stuff there. Strength have sort of come a long way over the last couple months in terms of the pieces of their puzzle are getting just that little bit stronger because of some glue units like Kobe and like Kaido, like Luffy. And now this Ace is just a really nice addition to the arsenal that they already had. The shooter team does need a little bit of help in terms of the strength meta. However, Ace is an option over there too. With the Shinobu Raizu situation, you can have that sort of strength like buffing, but most of the time you'll be using Super Tandem Ace if you guys have him over something like this character. So that's where he sort of drops off because his name is actually Ace, and pretty much every single Ace is a shooter. But over here on the strength team, he does work wonders. On the striker team, he can be a good option for you guys. And if you guys are missing stuff like some of those PvP rare recruits like Kanjuro and Hina, and you're not doing stuff with Sai, then you could easily do something with strength and build out that strength striker team. You have X-Drake, and like I said, you have Super Tandem Kaido as well, who can do some really, really fun stuff. But as you can see there, he can do a lot of damage. Alright, so I wanted to do something really wonky to try and see how Roger and Whitebeard went, and honestly, I kind of think I went a bit too wonky with this particular build. Something like Jack would have been a little bit better than Shinobu and Raizu, especially because you're using such a striker sort of meta, and that way you can at least buff Roger Whitebeard. Because you have Roger Whitebeard, you probably don't need Anniversary Luffy, and you could use something else, maybe something like Kanjuro in the front lines. You could easily use something like Kid if you wanted more damage output that way. But I just wanted to try and get Luffy and a Whitebeard on the same team. You also have the access to this Strength V1 Whitebeard. He's another option with his 50% HP cuts. I don't think he's a good unit, honestly. Like, he's good in Grand Party, I guess. But look, he might be a little bit better than I'm giving him credit for, because Ace can be your damage output after he does that 50% HP cut. If he goes early, then you can do some fun stuff there. But I really wanted to sort of bring Shinobu Raizu once again, because they do buff shooters, which is just straight buffing Ace. However, the rest of the team's kind of lacking, right? So Luffy's not getting buffed under Shinobu and Raizu. Law's not buffing, getting buffed by Shinobu Raizu. And neither is Whitebeard and Roger. What Shinobu Raizu do have, though, unfortunate there, Luffy just got smacked by King. What Shinobu Raizu do have, though, is the ability to give defense every time they hit to everyone on the team. And that means that you can just build up your defense, keep characters alive. And if you have Ace more centered, so he's taking damage, he is going to give that shield to Roger and Whitebeard, being a Whitebeard character. Plus, having Luffy on the team too, I was hoping it would give it to both, and I wanted to sort of see that. But unfortunately, I just sort of couldn't get it to work, in the sense that everyone either just kept dying, or the team still just 1. Unfortunately. Strength is really good, man. Like, strength is really, really good. And even just chucking Roger Whitebeard on this team, it just makes it stronger. Like, it is what it is. So, let me know what you guys think of the new Ace in the comment section below. Let me know how you guys went with actually maxing the character out. Did you actually invest all your materials into the character, or are you sort of just playing it cool, waiting down the line to see what happens over the next couple months, so maybe we can pick up some more copies elsewhere? Or if you did, what did you sort of finish off? Like I said, I finished my Ace off at level limit break 5. Sorry, level limit break 2, not level limit break 5. Level limit break 2, and if you guys are more of an endgame player, I would highly recommend sort of getting him to that point, or even getting him to level limit break 3, so that way you guys get access to his extra special ability. You are going to have to use posters eventually, unless they do give us more copies down the line. So if you guys want to jump the gun and sort of throw 2 copies in, or just get all the copies to get him to level limit break 3, I would totally understand that. But getting him to level 5 right now is a bit of a sketch. But if you did that, kudos to you, and I hope you guys are enjoying the new character. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching. Belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. And I'll catch you all in the next one.